We'll see if it works this time.
Yeah, you ready?
Not quite. It says I'm thinking about it and spinning. It's doing the hula dance. Oh, there it
And
goes. All right.
give me host abilities too, please.
Yes. There we
Okay.
go. Change host.
All right. Awesome. Well, I had shared with Cindy. I mean, everybody seems to be wanting to share, some of the good things and things that are happening in their business. And, I was thinking, well, what can I do to help give back as well? And so, part of the thing that I'm doing is I am utilizing Zoom as a tool in the toolbox, if you will. And about a year and a half ago, there was a couple. I was on one of these calls, just starting out, and they had mentioned something about Zoom, and I got on that call, and they went through it, and there was just parts of it that I was like, man, I'm going to totally take part of that stuff with me. Then I got an opportunity to go and spend a day with Stan. Gosh, it's already been a year and a half, or almost 2 years ago, Stan. With him, just to kind of shadow him, you know. And so what I've done is you're Stan, you're going to hear a lot of yourself in this, okay? But I kind of mixed the two together because I wanted to know what is maybe some best practices that we could utilize in the field if I can't meet them in person. Okay. So if you notice what I said there, if I can't meet them in person, I still believe, and everybody, even Elmer and all of them could probably tell you, meeting face to face is definitely the best tool that you have in your toolbox. Okay. However, you are going to get into some situations where your stores are a couple hours away, and are you going to drive 4.5 hours a day to go work the field? Is it worth it? Of course it is. It's definitely worth it. But some of us don't have that ability to do it. I had young children at home, and all of that, so it's really tough for me to go and take 4 or 5 days out in the middle of the week. So, what got me really excited about this is the fact that when COVID started, and I was doing advertising sales, traveling, across the country, training other individuals. But when COVID hit, I mean, that really shut us all down, right? And so we had to figure out a way to still, make sales and still talk to people. And another gentleman with the company that we were with gave me the encouragement to work on some Zoom presentations, and we actually started training people through Zoom and selling ads through Zoom and things like that. So I've kind of taken all of that and put it into this. I've had a couple of projects that have been about 2.5, 3 hours away, and I sold the entire project through Zoom, the entire thing. I signed up a restaurant. I go and I do what I call my prospecting. I get the information and did all the measurements and things of that nature. But all the sales side of it were strictly through Zoom. Okay. Now there are positives and negatives to any tool that you use, and it's very tough to use a hammer on a screw, right? But at the same time, if we get the right tool and the right fit, it's going to work. So what I've here recently done is just mixed a little bit of both. So a little Zoom and a little of the in person, and it seems to work for me. Okay, so that's sort of my disclaimer in all of this. But I also know that a lot of things that we are successful at, it's because of some maybe one or two little things that we're doing, and if we're not being successful, there's probably one or two things we're not doing. Okay. So I'm very open to some open and honest feedback. I'm not afraid of training. As you already know from last week, I asked a ton of questions because I want to know, how to do this job even better than I'm doing it today. So anyway, with that being said, I do need a volunteer.
1 second, Bradley. There's going to be a couple people that are trying to get on. You'll probably see
Okay.
on there if you can admit them into the
Oh,
group.
okay. Yeah, I got you. So I think I got them all. Oh, and then it's in the participants, right?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah, it should be say that they're holding and you have to let them in the room.
I don't.
Tony was one of them.
Oh, is that right? How do I share this back to you?
Let's
As you
see
can
if
tell,
I
I don't
can
know
remember.
everything about it.
Here, I got it. Admit, admit. And then I'll give it back to you. I think we got everybody in now.
We ready? All right,
There we
there we
go.
go. All right, so as I share with you, those are the disclaimers that I have at the beginning of this. That this isn't everybody's looking for a special sauce to make this, work better. And I want to tell you, Stan says it all the time, and it's not necessarily, the things that he says or anything like that. It's speed. It's that he's out there working. He's doing the door knocks. He's going and he's making it happen. And nothing's going to be able to hold you back as long as you keep that pipeline full. So this isn't an answer for some of you to keep to stay at home. This isn't the answer for you to say, oh my gosh, this is the way I'm going to do things. I'm just saying it's just a different tool to use. So I just wanted to just kind of reiterate that before I get started on here. But anyway, I really would like to get a volunteer, and I'm just going to go through the exact presentation that I did, 3 times today, sold 3 ads today, all through the Zoom, and I'll tell you how I do it, and then you can shoot holes in it or help, make it better or whatever it is. I'd be more than happy to listen. But who wants to be my volunteer? Who wants just to be the customer?
I will be.
Okay, Cindy. All right, well, Cindy, you're it. Okay.
All right.
So when we get started, the first thing I always do is obviously just like you would anybody else. I'd say, "Hi, Cindy. I think appreciate you taking a few minutes, to visit with me. I promise this won't take more than like 5 or 6 minutes. If at the end of it, if you think it's a good idea, we'll move forward, and if you don't, we won't. Is that fair enough?
Sounds good.
Okay, awesome. Well, let me share my screen. Now, have you ever eaten at Sunrise Restaurant?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So that helps me a little bit there. So you already know that what a great little restaurant it is. It is kind of located in between some other major cities, and they pull a pretty wide variety of clientele from that. But they are open 7 days a week. They serve a few thousand folks a week. Super friendly staff. I mean, John and his team really know how to do it, and they're doing it well. I was actually in last week standing in line at 11 a.m. waiting to get a table. I was like eighth in line. I mean, this place is really hopping. So, and again, you probably already understand that, but just wanted to kind of touch base with you on that. So, what you see here on these pictures these are just some various projects that we've done around the area. And then I might list some, we go from Waterloo to Bethalto, and then on both sides of the river here in the St. Louis region. But that just kind of lets you know that we've done a few different projects around. Now, this table that you're seeing here, this round one, this is one that we just recently did up in Greenville, Corner Cafe. And so what we do is we powder coat a really thin sheet of aluminum, put that restaurant grade epoxy on the top. And so your ad and your message is in the table. It's part of the table itself. Okay. And then again, there's some just various projects that we've done around as well. Now, the current layout that we're using for Sunrise is going to look something like this. Believe it or not, they're using the same design that we're using in Greenville. So it's going to have the American flag and the eagle. Now, these little spaces that you see here, these are just different ad spots that we have. Now, currently, I have about 3 or 4 different sizes that you can choose from. I do have a postcard size 6x4. I do have a 6x3. I have a 4x4 square. And then in a certain instance, if we needed to, I can cut one of those in half and make it a 4x2, which is going to be slightly larger than a business card. Okay. Now, I say top and bottom, but really, if you're at the top and I'm at the bottom, it's really left and right of the table. So those ads in front of you would face you, and the ads at the bottom would face me. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely.
So why even consider this? Well, you're definitely going to get a captive audience. What we found is after someone has ordered their food and before they get it is our prime time. That's when we find that most folks are taking their phones out, taking pictures, scanning QR codes. Heck, I even saw a guy get up and go to the other side of the table to look at the ads. It was pretty cool. Now, the three reasons that most businesses join us is really they're asking the question, how can I get in front of more people, do it more often, and do it for less money? Well, we check that box. Plus, referrals rock, right? So it's your folks, it's your people that are going to probably do business with you. And then you have to get in front of folks when they want and or need your, product or service. Well, we're definitely going to do that as well. And the bonus side of it is it is a local business promoting local. Now, our program lasts a minimum of around 3.5 years, and you're going to be on 20 tables. Now, he's got 20 dining room tables in there, and they're all the larger, like booth size tables in this restaurant. Now, because it is a permanent image, we do encourage you to utilize the QR code. If you don't have one, not a big deal. We can create one for you. And in fact, our graphic artist team is also part of this package. So you could use this, not use this, it's totally up to you. Okay. Whew. Cindy, I went through that really fast. Okay. But I asked you for 5 minutes, and I think I pretty much told you all about our program. Is there anything that you need clarification on? Anything that maybe I missed that you might have a question on?
What do they cost?
That's 99.9% of the time, that's exactly the question we're at. So in order to partner with us on this campaign, here's what we do. So for the 3 years on the 20 tables, currently all my 6x6s are gone. Okay, there's usually the first things that go, and sure enough, they were on this one. However, my 6x4s, they typically retail out at $2,300. Now, right now, we are offering, because we're coming to a close, a 10% discount today. Okay, so that brings it down to $2,070, or you can split it up into monthly investments if that makes it easier. That 6x3 after the discount's only $1,890, 4x4 $1,710, and then that 4x2 is only $950. Now, Cindy, if you guys were thinking about partnering with us, which size ad were you thinking?
Well, I'd say the biggest one you got left.
6x4. Yeah, that's a fantastic spot. Now, on this, the neat thing about our program is that you can pick any space that we still have yet available. So you can kind of pick the center of the table or off to the right, anything like that. The other thing that we do in order, or the next steps in this process, is that I would email you an electronic agreement. It will come from ABC. Okay. Takes you about 10 seconds to type in your name. And then I'll also send you an email from our office manager. And I have an office manager, which happens to be my wife, but Tammy, and she takes care of like all the ads and helps you coordinate all that. And we'll have a few suggestions on what you might want to use in your ad. You don't have to take them, but if they help you out, great. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. So is this something that you'd like for me to send you an agreement on?
Yes, please.
And then from here, I just need some basic information. What's a good mailing address for you? And get that. What's a good email? Whatever it is that I need to fill out my agreement. Okay. Now, if from here, I could go and switch over to our electronic agreement. I'll already have that screen up. Okay. If they have time. Sometimes they're really busy. They tell me I only got 5 minutes, let's get on and go. But I will fill out that agreement while we're on this conversation, and I'll send it to them in an email and get them to sign it right then and there. Okay. And put in their information. Otherwise, I'd say about half the time they don't. They just say, yeah, just send it to me and I'll get back to you. And that's what I do. Okay. Questions? That's it. Quick, boom, out, gone.
What's the you have the price sheet up, but then there's one below that. What's the second one?
Well, I thought somebody was going to ask. So what I did here is this is the actual price sheet that I typically use when I start the program, because I know with Stan, he was like, you get a paid in full discount with 10%. And then I do a 5% discount if they split it into monthly investments. So they're still getting a discount. So the 2,800, 10% off is 2,520. 5% off of the 2,800 is whatever 532 times 5 is. Okay.
What's PIF mean?
Paid in full. Yeah. And so I would say that. So a 6x6 is $2,800 retail. If you do a paid in full, I'll take 10% off of it right now. That brings it to 25.20. Or you can get a 5% discount if you want to split it up in a deposit and 4 monthly investments of 532. So that's my verbiage there. I put that in here just for this because I knew somebody was going to ask that.
Why did you pick 4 months instead of 2 months or 3 months?
For me, it's you have to know your areas. If I have a lot of folks doing paid in full, I'll delete that because I'll just do paid in fulls. But then I'll get into some areas where they're like, "Oh my gosh, I can't afford this. It's just so outrageous." And I'm like, "Well, what if I break it down into 20% down at 4 monthly investments, 20%?" Yeah, I'll do that. And that's where I kind of came up with that. It's just easy to roll off the tongue. Now that's
So
what
have
I
you-
do. I mean, you could do whatever you want. You put a third down and then 2 more payments of a third. However you want to, do it. For me, this is working for me.
So Brad, have you also played around with Crankwheel, or did you get really good at Zoom?
I just do Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah, and on my calendar, I can very easily send them a Zoom link. Okay. And it shows up on my calendar, and I color code my calendar, like red is Zoom and blue is in person. But the other thing too is I can also use it on my phone. Okay. So we all get those individuals that say, well, I can't meet you in person. I don't have the technology to do a Zoom. Can we talk over phone? And then I have these slides saved. And so I basically do the presentation without a face-to-face. I'll send them the first, 2 or 3 slides, and that's it. I won't even send them I won't send them that one. I'll send them these 3, and then I won't send them the price. Okay. Because I want them to see what we're doing, even if it's on a small screen. Now that's a last resort kind of thing. But I've done plenty of those by just strictly through the phone because the Zoom doesn't always work. So what are you going to do? Well, I'm always ready to have that. I have pictures, saved on my phone, and I just send them the first 2 or 3 slides, and then I walk them through that, just like I just said.
Huh.
And I
did
do
you
my
create all the
in-person the same
graphics for
way.
these slides yourself?
One more time.
Did you create all the graphics for these slides yourself?
No, when that other couple was doing this a year and a half ago, they had the background. I really liked it, like the clouds. Now all the verbiage is mine, but they had some pictures. Like I think this is their picture. I don't have that one, but yeah, I just tweak it every time. It's just if I find something that's a little better or something that flows a little better, I'll make that little tweak and change it up. And then I also like to use, if you notice these pictures here, these are all businesses that are around this current store that I'm working.
Cool.
So they see these and they'll be like, oh, okay, I know these people. You know what I mean?
Adds credibility. Yep.
Yeah. And I change. So if you notice, even with this one, see that they're different. And I try to hit them to scale too. So 6x6, 6x4, so forth.
Bradley, could you speak to what the electronic agreement is? I have not seen one of those.
Yeah, it's just on your let me go there. I know Cindy has it.
I guess I just haven't used it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a difficult thing. Let me
Is that in our back office?
Yes. So
Oh,
let
okay.
me
Then I'll find it.
When you
well,
start,
it's a little questionable the first time you use it, okay? So, I mean, I'll just punch it in real quick. So I have it saved on my bar here. There's that. I go back to the rep portal, sales, new ad sale. Did I go too fast? I know I went really fast.
Oh, that's fine.
So, yeah, so you go to sales, new ad sale, and then you start clicking it in, and then you just follow the path as it goes down. And then I can send it, and I can be right here when they get it in their email.
yeah, once you get all the information in, then, when you start selling, that's how you'll put your ads in through that rep portal at the top. And you should have a tutorial that I sent you, and I can send it to you again when you get ready to start selling. that has screenshots of step by step through it. But
Yeah,
at the
and-
end, after everything's in there, there's a place where it says send to customer, and it'll email it to the customer.
And I'll share this screen with the client. So I think this brings credibility too. Hey, it's going to be coming from ABC. Here's our company. And then I say, because I'll type in something that is I misheard or I didn't hear correctly, and they'll correct me on it. Oh, no, you misspelled my name. Oh, no, that's not how and they'll tell me. And I'll put it all right here. They see everything. It's very transparent. And then I send it to them. I'm like, you should have it. Look in your spam. So that's what I do. Give me
Well, that
some
looks great.
naysayers.
Are you open to sharing that PowerPoint?
Of course, yeah. I've already shared it with Cindy. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was shared with me. I got it from one of you all. So I'm just building upon,
That'd be great.
something else. Yeah, absolutely.
We can customize it, as we wish.
100%.
Then, yeah.
Yeah, and I keep
you.
them all too. So I have all my other projects that I do or have done, because and I'm glad I did, because you're going to have one of those yahoos that are going to say, well, that's not the spot you told me I was going to get. And I can very quickly just pop it up and go, here's what we talked about. And here it is. So, and I've only had that happen once. But I still hang on to them.
Then came 2015, when things took another deadly turn.
Any other questions?
Yeah, Tom.
Well done, by the way. I think the presentation looks great.
Thank you very much, Bradley.
Yeah. Any other questions? I mean, punch holes in it. I mean, yes, going in person is the best. 100%. Do not disagree. But when you're selling, 3 hours away, 2.5 hours away, it's just another way you can't make it to the area. Why stop selling? I can still make phone calls. I can still sell, even if I was sick one day, and I was like, there's no way I'm driving that far. And I sold 2 or 3 ads that day, just from doing something like this. It's just
Where I
another
see it
tool.
being really helpful is when I did the one-legged sale, because the bar owner was there and his wife's a partner, but she's never there because she has
Right.
another job. And the chance of her coming into the bar for me to present was zero. And, of course, he went and told her, hey, some guy wants to put ads on our tables. Well, that was about the end of that. And that usually is what happens. And if I could do this and say, well, Barry, how about we get, Julie on a Zoom tonight for 20 minutes, then we're back in the game, I think.
Now, I will share with you too, because I'm asking, try to punch holes in it. It might be a little tough to do at this moment, but one of the things, well, there's a couple things that you don't get when you're in person is if I do send the agreement and then they don't sign, then I got to trace, and that is probably the biggest headache of this, is when they're not signing at the moment that you send it, because sometimes you have to chase people down. It's like, hey, are we going to do this? And then I need this, and I've changed my mind. Okay, whatever. Then we got to get it canceled. That's a pain. But hopefully those have gotten, for me, they've gotten less and less as I've gotten through this, because I've knocked that one out as much as I can.
Yeah.
I had a question. Maybe I didn't
Sure.
hear it reiterated in the presentation. I know that it showed like 21 tables in there, and I can see that. But I guess what I've found is, reiterating why I'm giving my pitch. How many tables are going to be on. Some of them get confused on that. I mentioned it. I mentioned it twice. I mentioned it in the benefits, and then at the pricing. So for the 3 years on 20 tables, you will get this is the price. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
all right.
Really the one thing has been very helpful as of late is I don't ask them which spot they want. That's the one thing I used to do. I'm like, hey, which spot do you want? Well, sometimes people were taken off by that. So that's why I changed it. I said, if you decided to partner with us, which space do you think you might get? And then if from there, I'm either going to get, well, I've got to take it up the chain. I got to talk to somebody. I got to think, I get all those. Or they tell me, and if they tell me a number, they're getting an agreement right then and there. I mean, I'm getting information. To me, that's the buying signal that, yep, you're going to do it. And it's been a pretty good close. And I shared with you, it's only going to take 5 minutes. I've been about, 6, 5 to 10 minutes. It's only going to take about 6 and I'm done. It's over and moving on. So that's a good benefit from it as well.
Thank you. It was great presentation.
No worries. Well, again, I'm stealing it from all you all. So I tweak it every time I get on these calls. To be honest with you,
for the advertising sales, but as you probably saw, I wanted to adapt it to a restaurant when I'm looking to sign a restaurant, and I only have one of the two.
That
so
one,
I would create a new one pretty much.
Yeah,
probably
I don't use a Zoom for that. I still go, it's in person. I show them the video and I still do it that way. But one thing I was going to share with you is Tony, about I think 4 or 5 projects ago, I only sold like 2 or 3 ads. I'm like, Tony, this is ridiculous. I've never been in this kind of a slump, selling ads on these tables. What's going on? And he asked me, he says, are you promoting the restaurant? Give it another week or so. And are you promoting the restaurant? And I was like, not really, and that's when I came back. That's why I have that first slide now. And I've put it on everything since then. And sure enough, I sold the store out. So, within like a week or so. So now I use that as part, because I didn't use it and now I do. So that's what I'm saying. It's always be teachable and trainable. Always be open to, trying something new. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, move on.
Just how things work.
Yeah, especially when you're in distance, you want trying to stay local, and that building on that restaurant helps you be a little bit more local. As far as using it for a restaurant, I think you could do that. Not that I would recommend it, but I think what I'm thinking, that might be a good way, because seeing the actual product is going to be the biggest thing. But those partners that are in distance, you're dealing with the manager or the partner that's actually working the restaurant, and the other partner might be in Mexico or wherever. Well, that might be a really good spot then to say, hey, let's get together on a Zoom, and to be able to do that. That way you can get that credibility, from ABC and the time that they've been doing it, and how many tables, how many restaurants they've been doing, and, and actually being able to, I would almost play that video. Here's a short video that can run, and you can do it with that video very quickly.
Yeah.
That actually goes through that process, not only helping with the credibility, but, something done, where somebody in distance can actually get a halfway decent picture of everything involved.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful, because I would use the video. I've been chasing this one restaurant for months, and it's always, well, David never comes in. Yeah, once in a while he's in on a Saturday. So I even went in on a Saturday and sat there. And of course he didn't, but so the partner that runs the restaurant likes it. And he said, but we're just going to wait, because that's what his partner's saying, because he hasn't seen the presentation. He doesn't really know what it's about. And it'd be an excellent restaurant. It really would. They need new tables too. And it's a great busy place. And I just can't get in front of the partner. But maybe a Zoom would do it. I don't know. Right now I've got nothing.
Right.
You can, what I've done in the past is find their address, the other partner's name, and find their address and show up. It's worked out for me.
I think she had sent to me once. She just wanted to leave.
Well, he was, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know where else he works. He's just not telling me.
Well, see if he's got more than one restaurant. You know, if he's bouncing between multiple restaurants, that's another way. Or
that's what I thought too, Tony. But he's just a silent partner that has another job.
Well,
just never
as
comes
you're
in.
doing other restaurants in that town, I would be asking, and because he should be, if it's one that you're really pursuing and it's a hot restaurant, you'll get referrals from business owners, you know. And I always ask them, well, do you know the owner?
Yeah.
I've met this one. Have you met the other owner? And some of those guys know it, and they have some influence and whatnot. They could maybe help you.
Yeah, yeah. I'll keep trying.
That's it.
I would reiterate to not wait on one either. Go hit some other towns. Go hit a different different type of restaurant in that town. That's good. You know, keep them moving. That's how it happens.
Well, you're wanting different types of restaurant anyway. So if that's a barbecue place or a breakfast place, what is it? And then looking for specifically other types of restaurants, in that town that you want anyway. So keep pursuing those restaurants, and it will help you get that restaurant.
You could, if you don't mind, you can give me a call later, and I can see if I can try to locate where that other person is for you.
Yeah, let me think about that, Brandon. It might be a surprise he's not welcome to, but I'd just as soon work through the guy that I am working through now, and instead of going around him to find the partner. But I don't know. I guess it might be a good idea. It's not no forever. It's just no for now. And I think next month I might, I go back there every couple of weeks, and I'm working on other restaurants as well. I'm not holding them.
Good.
I'm expecting a no from this one. I just haven't given up, and I'm not gonna, because it's a good one.
A lot of people have
might be next year.
A lot of people have a hard time telling you no because you're probably a nice guy and they don't want to hurt your feelings. So that could be their built-in excuse that they have to not have an answer is, oh, I still haven't talked to my partner. He's not here. So be careful that you're just not chasing down a no and they're afraid to tell you that.
Well, it could be because it is an Asian restaurant and they're generally polite in that respect. So maybe you're right. But he likes it. His wife likes it. The other partner who's never there, his wife works there and she likes it. It's just the fourth guy. The important one is just never around. So I don't know. But I've said enough. I'll keep working on it, and when it's time to tell the good news, I'll do that.
Sounds like you're going the right direction. You got partner and wife and his wife on board, then that should be pretty big chunk of the barriers.
Hey, so want to say something on this if that's okay. The one thing I would suggest, and just like Cindy said, find another restaurant. And if you can find another restaurant and you sign up another restaurant, you can go back to that restaurant and say, hey, I have this other restaurant signed up. Honestly, I'd really rather do yours, but I got to make a decision the next day or two, and that sometimes will push them over the edge. I've had restaurants be like, okay, well, and they got me an answer that day. So just because, I got this other restaurant I can do now, otherwise yours might be a year from now. You know what I mean? Just kind of a fear.
Well, I know, and that's what I said, and that I wanted to make a decision by pick one by the end of the month. And he said, well, we're just going to wait.
Okay.
And
well, in that case, yeah, you can do it. I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
I almost said, well, why don't we write up this agreement? Let's measure the tables. Mm-hmm. We'll get this set up, and then you could pick out the design, and then if David has a problem with this, we won't do it. But
Yeah.
let's just get it rolling, and then when we have everything, you can go talk to David.
Yeah, and that's another way is just assume the sale like that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
the only thing I
he
haven't
can
done yet.
sign for it, obviously,
Yeah.
and it's just like, hey, well, he's probably not even a guy that he might not even be really involved in a lot of the decision making, really, and he just is using it as an excuse, though.
Well, I don't remember who else just said that he might be just trying to be really polite and
Correct.
say no, but I don't get that feeling. I usually know when that's the case, but
Okay.
I got the feeling his hands are tied because he can't make the decision unilaterally. So anyway, well, I'll
You'll
get him.
catch him. That's
Yep.
it. Well,
How's,
that's our next
how's everybody
question.
been anyway? I've been gone for a
Good,
week or
Fred.
two.
Had a good vacation?
I did. We had a great vacation. Drove to Clearwater, Florida from around Dallas, Texas. So it was about a 17-hour drive. Drove to Pensacola, and that's kind of the halfway point, and then we drove the rest away. And yeah, had a wonderful vacation. We had a lot of good seafood. Had this amazing condo that had a water park at the condo, which was so convenient. And I mean, you literally walk out our door, the elevator's like really, really close. You go to the elevator, you go downstairs one floor, and then you got the entrance to the water park. I was like, this is awesome. So we had access to that the whole time.
I'm sure the kids love that. They will remember it forever.
And we did sailing. We had a sailboat that was really nice. We did parasailing. All five of us did parasailing. And we did this awesome pirate ship was really cool too for the kids. They had really fun. And it's funny, I got nominated, I guess because I was having fun with my kids, but I got nominated by the crew to dress up as Peg Leg Pete. And so they had a little get up and everything I had to do, and had a cane, and I had to get in the role and scare the heck out of the kids, and they squirt me with
You
a
didn't
bunch of
have
water.
any problem with that.
Yeah, they squirt me with a bunch of water guns, and it was fun. I mean, just a lot of good memories. So it was a nice road trip. So,
Awesome. Good. Options. Love to have options, right?
Yes, sir.
That's it. What's our next question?
Everybody looking forward to September, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely.
Hey, Fred, are you getting skinny?
I never call myself skinny. I'm slimming a little bit here and there, working out a lot, doing taekwondo. So
nice.
But I'm not, I don't think
Cindy, do you have anything that's coming online? I'm sorry.
Never been skinny.
I do not. I was just looking.
Oh.
What was that, David?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we missed it. I missed hearing what you said.
Well, obviously, there are definitely multiple options as far as being able to present this. As many have said already, there isn't any one cookie cutter thing that makes the project go fast. It's always multiple things that make a project go fast. Key thing though is a good restaurant, and that is the key. Good restaurant, meaning number of people, going through it, and, good restaurant owners that are involved in the community. Absolutely, bar none, that's the best restaurant, to get. And building from that. Appreciate it, Bradley, a lot. You taking the time and running through that. Has anybody got anything else they need some help with? there's a lot of good help on to answer questions.
I've got a little bit of a challenge. I have a renewal that was up for renewal, a restaurant about a year ago, and the owners I've done both their sets of tables, but then they just bought a third restaurant in a different town, and they're letting 22-year-old daughter run and make decisions on the tabletops that I have for renewal, and she doesn't like them, quote unquote. And she's avoiding me. I'm trying to meet with me so I can kind of go through the features and benefits, and I'm a little frustrated over it. I don't want to leave the tables in there much longer. I'd rather yank them if they're not going to with me, but it'd be better if I could win her over.
Sure.
How do you even deal with 22-year-olds anyway? Oh my gosh.
Well, I think, getting in with her is going to be the key. You need to speak to her one-on-one and really, picking her brain on design and showing her the different things that we have available to customize, her restaurant, the one that she's running, and kind of personalize it for her. And then, of course, running through the benefits and that tie-in with the community. Probably one of our biggest selling points is, the fact that it is local and we're promoting local and we're building local, and, it is a difference maker, combating the franchises that are coming in. And so that's the biggest thing that has, I think, helped, tying in and helping restaurants understand what we're doing and getting that bigger picture to where, it's not just this advertising on tabletops.
Yeah, I figured if I can't pin her down to meet with me, then I'll just go back to the parents because they love the tabletops. So
Right.
it's just.
And I just explained to them your frustration and just trying to get with her, and they can at least get that meeting put together when she's going to be in, be able to help tie it up or give the okay and move forward.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Bring her some Starbucks coffee. That'll win her over.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the age where it probably spends $100 a month on Starbucks.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Hey, I just had one comment on what Mario was talking about on dealing with the 20-year-olds. Might be a good idea to focus on the technology aspects, the QR codes, and getting a lot of likes on Facebook, being able to scan the QR code and check in at the restaurant, get a lot of check-ins and followers. That was just one thought I had.
That's a great thought, Elmer, because I'll add to that, we've had great results in promoting that to the restaurant owner. One of our number one things that we hear back is, the advertisers from the advertisers, and that is their clients, taking a picture of their ad and saying, hey, had breakfast with you at, and mention that restaurant, right? Or supper, or had lunch, just how many times that's being posted online, right? And getting likes and shares. So it is a definite benefit for those restaurants with that, again, a tie-in with those local business owners and how it works. We're educators, and anything that we can do in that regard will help. Any other thoughts?
I thought it was a very good call. Very good Zoom.
Cindy, you got anything else?
I do not. Nope.
Hey, who's all coming to September?
Brett, I told you 10 times I'm coming. I'm not going to miss it this time.
I'm not talking about you, Muriel. Jeez.
I'll be
Kelsey
there.
from last
Talking
year.
about me.
Hey, while I have everybody on here, I don't know if I mentioned this at all, but I do have an Airbnb that I rented with Cindy's son, and I have an extra room. So if anybody wants to split it with me, it'll probably be cheaper than the hotel, and it's a nice separate room. It's really nice. I got a living room where you got these awesome, cool chairs that are reclining chairs, right from the TV, and nice kitchen, everything. It's a nice little place. I stayed there last time. Wayne was last time did, and this time I forgot to tell him, and he went ahead and got a hotel. So I need somebody to split it with me. So if anybody's interested, let me know.
You have a full kitchen?
What's that?
You have a full kitchen?
Yeah, but my wife said I can't have another woman. Sorry, Harry. No, I'm
No,
joking.
no, no.
I'm joking. I don't care.
I don't want
No,
to room. Just want
I'm
to use
just
the kitchen.
I'm just messing with you. I'm fine either way. It's all good. Anybody who wants to stay with me, like I said, it'll probably be cheaper than staying in a hotel. I got it for 3 days or 3 nights or whatever. So I'm getting there
And I don't
soon.
see Scott on, and he was somewhat interested in that too. So he was supposed to call you.
Yeah, he's supposed to, but
Haven't heard anyway.
need somebody reliable. So
First come, first serve.
there you go. There you go. So everybody
Well,
doesn't have my number. Get my number if you have any questions, and I'm happy to do that. So, and I'm driving there from Texas, so that's like I did last time. I rent a car and driving there. It's a nice drive. I don't know what kind of car I'm going to get this time, Tony.
You had a nice one last year. You had a Mercedes, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I did. I think I had a Mercedes last time, didn't I?
Well, I
Hey,
definitely
Bradley?
want you make sure you guys.
One last thing, Bradley, would you mind putting your email address in the chat, and I'll reach out to you about that PowerPoint?
I have the PowerPoint. I'll send it to you.
Oh, great.
Don.
Thank you, Cindy. Wonderful. Thanks.
But the September meeting, oh, there you go. The September meeting, you definitely want to plan to come to that. For those that are new on here, it's going to be September 8th and 9th, a Monday and a Tuesday, packed full. So make sure you get registered for that and basically just book your room. Let us know who all's coming. We're kind of trying to get a number for the food for the awards dinner Monday night and some of the other things that we have planned for this to make sure we have enough. So make sure you let us know. I know several of you already have, but if you haven't, make sure you let us know that you're coming. If you're bringing someone, anything like that, let us know.
Same thing with the trip. We are booking up on the trip, and so we're trying to verify that we don't need more rooms. We're considering that. We have to finalize some of that in the next month or two. But anyway, make sure for the trip in January, if you're going, that we have all that information.
Speaking of that, Tony, when you do that, like I sent my information in on the portal online, do they reach out to you and ask for any more information, or is it done at that point?
You should have all your information. So when you hit that 6 tables or close to it, they'll get you booked. She's going to be sending me over a list again, and I'll be calling everybody to make sure we're still on so that we can finalize those.
All right, awesome.
You'll have a volunteer to close us out with a prayer.
I'm driving, but I can.
Sure can.
Unless someone else wants to take it who's not driving.
Anybody?
I pray all the time driving. Go for it, bud.
All right. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the information that we've received today. We thank you for the safe travels, and I ask that you watch everyone as they travel through this week and make contact with the business owners, and that you help guide and watch them. And in Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Guys, have a great week, and we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday. If you got anything that we need to discuss before then, feel free and give us a call.
Have a great
bless.
week.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
See y'all. Bye bye.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night.